KEET TV presents Homework Hotline, the after-school show that fuses learning with fun. Watch local teachers bring the classroom on air and online. This is Homework Hotline.
Welcome to Homework Hotline. My name's Pam Halstead and I taught science at Fortuna High School.
And I'm Ken Pinkerton and I taught science at Zane Middle School.
So here we are, science teachers, and very excited to have you guys tuning in.
Great.
Because today we have a science show. Well, actually both of our shows have been on science, so it's pretty cool. But Ken's was more physical science, although combustion, the subject, can definitely affect everything living, biological. Today it's just going to be on those things that might be affected by combustion. So plants and animals and fungus. So we're going to take a look at some local organisms that are found around here, whether they're native or non-native. We'll have that discussion, and let's just take a look. Sam, oh my gosh, I almost called you Sam. That's okay. He's the producer. All right, good. Ken, here, let's go.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. So first off, let's talk about identification, because I didn't require, I taught a class called AP Environmental Science, and one of the things I required of students is that they learn the names of certain organisms. I mean, the ones that they see regularly on a regular basis. Because a lot of times it's called the green blur. We just look at things and just go, oh, it's a plant, and I don't know what it is. So anyway, let's take a look.
It's a shrub.
It's a shrub, yeah, if they even know it's a shrub. They know tree and grass, okay? So the name, it can be either the common name that we use in normal parlance, which works for us here, but if we try to take that common name somewhere else, people get confused. Like cougar can mean a lot of different animals.
Especially if it's a different language.
Absolutely. So the scientific name is very helpful. I do not have students memorize that, but it is very helpful in actually identifying. So if we take a look at some trees that we have here, and there's and a 10-story building. I think that was just for relative height, because here we see the coast redwood. Even though the giant sequoia is the largest of all trees, the coast redwood is the tallest.
Right. Okay.
So it's a coast redwood, but then it is also, that's its scientific name, its common name is coast redwood. Sequoia sempervirens, which means ever living.
Always greener, or always living.
Always living, sempervirens. So let's move on then from identifying with a name, because that's what we're going to try to do. I'll let you give it a shot, and I think you'll probably do really well, but let's move on to something else that we... Okay, no problem. I won't, so no problem. Okay, ecosystem and niche. And a niche is what the role of the organism is, and the ecosystem is where they live. So let's take a look here, and I'm only going to do these, aquatic, terrestrial, or combination of it. They use both, like a frog uses a combination, depending on what stage they are in their metamorphosis. And then the other thing is, what is their role in the ecosystem? And so do they, like, Ken has a really cool plant here on the table, and this plant is, tell us about it.
It's Banksia. And it's from Australia. I just found it in the community. I found one visiting schools, and it's got this amazing, it looks like a cone. Let's see if I can turn it to. But it's actually a flower, so it kind of, there's a whole bunch of flowers. Cones are also a very different kind of flower. But these are much more of a developed flower. They're a lot more obvious, and so.
And it might be a flowering plant. In fact, it is, right? It's not a conifer. So this is an organism that is known as a producer, because it uses photosynthesis, light from the sun and carbon dioxide from the air, and it makes its own food. It makes sugar, which is pretty incredible, and we wouldn't be here without it. Plants came first. Okay, then, so they either are that, and you can also call them autotrophs, which means self-feeding, so the same kind of thing. Or they're like us and fungus and a lot of bacteria, which are consumers. We need to get food from other places. So we either eat plants, or a combination of plants and animals, or we eat only animals, and so we can decide whether the thing that we're looking at is either a plant, or a producer or a consumer. Okay, so let's just take a look at the first one, and this will be our example.
Oh, very cool.
Okay, so name.
It's a slug, or it's a banana slug.
Yes, it is. Banana slug, really cool member of the redwood forest ecosystem. And its role in the environment.
It's a consumer, but it's also, is it a detritivore too? Or
it is a detritivore, yes. So it goes for dead stuff. Yes, I mean, it also will eat poop, which is, I guess, dead stuff, kind of. I mean, it's stuff that's already been consumed or digested.
Yeah,
so,
you often find them.
Yes, feces.
Chowing down.
Yes, chowing down. So there's the example. There's our first one. We have 50 more to go.
All right.
All righty, here we go.
One down.
One down, and next one.
Ooh, that's a nice one.
Yes, it's a lovely one.
Is that a thimbleberry?
It is a thimbleberry, and this is one of the first.
I didn't look at the.
Good job.
I was just looking at the flowers.
No, you got it. You got it.
The berry over there.
Yeah, that flower looks kind of similar to salmonberry, which comes out after the thimbleberries. Thimbleberries, delicious.
Oh yeah.
And they're one of the first berries that come out. Yeah. And so look for them, everybody. It is an autotroph, or also known as a producer.
Producer, right.
Yeah, and it's found in the forests and in places like the sides of creeks and things like that, riparian areas. Okay, cool. Next, oh boy, Stumper perhaps.
Oh, I know what those are.
Oh, they're so cool.
There is a royal tern.
It is you're so close. Look, if the kids gave me the wrong name, the first name, you gave me the right, it is a tern. It's a Caspian, bingo.
Tern.
You got it.
Yeah.
Good, excellent. This is a pretty large tern. There's a tern around here called an elegant tern who's a lot smaller. But if you see them, they look like a gull, right?
Yeah.
They look like we don't say seagull. We do say it, but it's not considered to be correct because there are so many different gulls.
Around the bay, you can tell with your ears, they have a really raucous
They
call.
do, and they have a super high noise that they make, and the babies like beg up in the sky like that. They scream at the parents. So yeah, it is pretty cool. And these are fish eaters. They dive from a high position and then come down, into the bay.
Yes, I found if you go to where the what's the center that's on the bay right by the docks, the commercial docks?
Woodley Island?
No, on the Eureka side.
Eureka side. Adorney Center.
No, the one that's closer to like Costco.
Closer to Costco. Wharfinger Building.
Yeah. So if you go to the Wharfinger Building, there's nice parking lots around there. And it's a great spot to watch the terns.
Sweet. Oh, that's really cool. Swooping around, interacting, very neat. Okay, here's our next organism. Say what you think.
Okay.
If you can see it. Oh, it's really close up. Yeah, good idea.
Oh, it's a giant salamander.
Yes, it is. Specifically Pacific giant salamander. Okay. Yes, this is the largest. Oh, and is it terrestrial, aquatic, or both?
Both, I would bet.
Yeah, because they lay their eggs just like a frog in the water, and then out hatches the larva. These guys are the largest terrestrial, because there is the hellbender Japanese that's aquatic.
Oh,
there's a huge salamander.
Yeah.
This, though, is pretty good size, like maybe about a foot or so.
Very cool.
Yeah, they are neat. And guess what they eat? Banana slugs.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
I want them in my yard.
Yes. I mean, if they eat the European slug, we'd all be so happy. Do you have a lot of the brown ones, slugs?
Yes.
And it seems like there's a lot of snails around, too.
Yeah, they're just
they're related.
Moving anything right now that you can see them growing quickly. Gardeners, not friends.
All right, those are consumers.
The chickens love them.
Oh, good. That's super good. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, what do we have here?
Okay, I have to look and see. Oh, is it brown bear or black bear?
It is black bear. Okay. It looks brown, yeah. But I mean, the brown bear is also known as the grizzly bear. So that we used to have that, but then we killed all of them because they're dangerous. And it is the bear of California. It's the mammal of California.
Right.
But here's a couple black bears. Very nice. We definitely have them around here.
Right.
Usually they're nocturnal when they eat food and things like that. And but if you go out like farther east, you can see more of them.
You have them in your neighborhood.
We sure do.
And we have them in my neighborhood.
We definitely do. And how you can know that sometimes is just by looking at their poop, which is amazing because they eat things like bunches of apples or bunches of plums. And what's left behind are just seeds or just
they look like
apples. And they're large.
The bear bars, the nutrition bars are very aptly named.
Oh, very good.
Just like bear
very nice.
Lots of seeds in them and stuff
and
like that.
So they're consumers for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen it. We've seen evidence. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Oh, this is a Lucian Goose?
Yes, and this is a very timely picture and a timely animal because it's about ready to leave for the Aleutians where they breed. But they're in fields right now, fattening up on grass.
Right, and you can hear them. I love hearing them
fly
by at night.
It's so cool, and they fly in these big V formations, and The difference between this and a Canada goose is the size.
Okay.
And that white band around his neck.
Okay.
And also the higher voice that they have when they're calling.
Huh, okay.
That'd be cool to have some vocals, but
yeah.
we don't have any. Neat. Look for them, guys, because they won't be here much longer. They're going to leave pretty soon.
Yeah, so down on by College of the Redwoods, or just anywhere around the bay where there's fields, you can see them now. So.
Any bottoms at all, like the Ferndale, the Lolita, Arcata.
Yeah.
The Marbled Godwit, the Godwit Festival's coming up. And that's not this weekend, but the following weekend.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
So it's the Perilous Plunge is the following weekend.
Neat.
So
very
you
good.
can do both.
That's a nice
all right, that is it a chanterelle?
Yes, it's a chanterelle. Look, you're doing so good with this. Okay, this is a mushroom that's edible, delicious. One time we had a person, Aaron Ostrom, and his son Isaac came on and had some chanterelles.
Oh, very good.
They're very good, yeah.
And Aaron teaches at Fortuna? Hi.
Aaron Ostrom is, not Aaron.
Okay, it's a different.
Not Aaron, yeah, Odell.
Odell,
They both names,
okay.
yeah. These are delicious, and I wouldn't advise hunting for them unless you know what you're doing.
Right.
That's true with any fungus at all. And that was the thing Aaron said, make sure you only get what you absolutely know.
Right.
And just focus on one or two at first before you then.
Yeah, there's a saying, there are old mushroom pickers and bold mushroom pickers, but there are no old, bold mushroom pickers.
Old bold, that's the truth. You want to be very cautious, very cautious.
Yeah.
So this is interesting. These used to be classified with plants, but no longer are they because they cannot photosynthesize.
Oh, okay.
And they're consumers. They break things down with enzymes that come out.
And that's just the flowering body.
That is. Most of them are underground. That's right.
So
Mycelium.
Big. So if you're digging underground and you see kind of like
white stuff.
And
plants wouldn't be plants without these because they live in the roots and they help the roots to take up nutrients and also to take up water. And then the plant gives through photosynthesis gives the mushroom, or not the mushroom, but the fungus underground, its nutrients, its sugars.
Yeah, amazing.
It is. It's a great relationship. Okay, so I really love these.
Dobson flies?
You are very close.
Okay.
You were talking about an aquatic macroinvertebrate here, which is somebody who lives in the water, but as an adult it flies around. It builds its own home with little rocks, and that thing it puts together with mucus, it's called a caddisfly.
Right, caddisfly, yeah. Dobson flies have big biters on them. Right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're larger than these. But this is a very cool insect that in the larval form here, they live most of their life as larvae.
Right.
So it goes egg, larva, pupa, adult. Right. And the adults don't live nearly as long as, but the adults are that's when people go fly fishing. Oh, they make their flies to look like the insect that has wings, which is the adult.
So if you go by the rivers, especially in creeks in the summer, you'll see like little tubes on the rocks.
Yes, on the rocks.
Nearby.
That means they hatched out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you're lucky and you watch them, you can see them come out.
It's so cool. There's so much to look at in Roner Creek, Strong's Creek, anybody in the Eel River too, same thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the Mad in all of our 6 rivers.
Yeah.
Okay.
We live in a wonderful spot.
We do. It's phenomenal. Oh, we have a bird.
Okay. Oh, okay. It's got one. So that's a peregrine.
It is a peregrine. This is a peregrine falcon, fastest bird on the planet. The dives it can make are just absolutely phenomenal. And we have some in Eureka that eat pigeons.
Oh, yeah.
Very common thing. And then also shorebirds. But they're amazing, and they nest in places you wouldn't expect, like under bridges and on people's, They're not afraid of people. They are cautious, but they can be close to people.
Down in Monterey, there's a giant high-rise motel, and they've been nesting in their sign every year.
Oh, wow. That's so cool.
There's the hotel surrounded by big ponds. So it's a perfect spot.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, they need to be near where they can get. These guys don't eat fish, but they eat birds that eat fish and birds. So any bird that's either not doing well or just a little too slow.
And they have that single, what do you call it, sideburn on them, where the little kestrels have 2.
Oh yeah, nice. I think we're going to run into one of those coming up. All right, so let's go on.
All right, so
we have a relative of the Pacific giant.
And I don't know the name of that one. Is that a red belly?
Rough-skinned newt.
Okay.
So what happens to these is they warn people with the underside of their belly, so they lift their heads up and they have bright orange on the under because they are poisonous.
Okay, right.
And there's a story of a couple that, there's probably more than one story, but the one that I've heard is that accidentally a rough-skinned newt got into their coffee. They were camping. And they drank it without knowing, and neither one of them survived because they are very poisonous. But you can, if you had them in your hand, it's when you put it in your mouth, that's when it's not good.
Okay.
So they're not to be killed. They're not like they're so horrible, you know, we can get rid of them. It's just that they have
they're
a
just
protection.
protecting themselves,
because think of it, they're an amphibian. They're very vulnerable. They don't have any claws.
They're slow.
They're slow. They don't have
and they're small.
scales. And so they need to have protection of some kind. So anyway.
And in nature, whenever we have the bright colors, that's screaming, don't eat me. So
exactly.
Right.
All right.
So they're like the poison arrow frogs.
They're like the poison arrow frogs, yeah.
So that one is a cedar, I think. Is it? Or is it a western hemlock?
Is actually a spruce.
A spruce, okay.
Yeah, but I mean, good. I'm not so good at that either. So anyway, this is a spruce, and a Sitka spruce, as you said, and it's the one where you try to shake its hand and it hurts you because it's so spiny. Okay. So the needles are really spiny.
Whorls.
Yeah, and this is the way the cones look, and we'll be bringing some in a couple of weeks.
And then they lose those, and they really break easily, right?
I think so. Okay. Right. Yeah. That has the seeds in them. The cones have the seeds in them. Yeah, and they're lovely trees. They get really tall, and they're native to this area. Actually, everything we've seen so far is
nice.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so here we go to the next one.
Salmon.
It is a salmon, yes. And I'm pretty sure this is a Chinook or a king salmon because the mature one, if it was a coho, would have a big hook on the end of it.
That's what I was looking at.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's more. Oh, it's also the gums, like the black gums or the...
cool.
So if I knew more.
So the black gums are...
Oh, black gums, there you go.
Okay.
Yes. So
nice.
Salmon and, of course, native. Having a difficult time because we hardly have any water anymore. It's difficult. And our habitat, we were working on making the habitat better so the salmon can survive.
Right. So. Yeah. And then what's fascinating is just the amount of animals that depend on salmon getting upstream.
Oh my gosh!
And taking all that protein.
We had a show on that. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's all the the stuff they got from the ocean and they bring it up to the freshwater.
So it seems when you first look at it, a huge waste of energy to swim all the way back up those streams.
And then die, and what the heck.
But that energy is just like a battery.
Goes into the plants, the trees and all that. Yeah, it's
the number of animals that survive or are dependent on that food is
great.
Yeah, so even more important to keep the runs running or restore them. So.
Yes, absolutely. And so let's go on to the next one.
I love that.
The next one is...
Palm?
Yes, sea palm. You got it.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely. So those are a kind of seaweed.
Right.
And a seaweed is not a plant, it's an algae. And an algae is part of a group called Protista, which is kind of like the dumping group for you put things in it that don't exactly, like an amoeba is a Protista, and so is a seaweed because it's an algae. And so there are things that are different about these guys than plants, although they photosynthesize for sure.
Yeah.
They just use different pigments and things like that.
Very cool.
All right, so next. This is an edible mushroom, and it's called a Shaggy Mane, which is that cap part has all those little parts that stick out, and so it looks kind of shaggy.
Right.
And they're very good, but again, make sure you know what the heck you're doing because we have no idea. But good. They grow on the sides. Woo.
Okay, cool. Limpets.
Tide pool. Yep, limpets. And this is a relative of what have we seen so far, and what is it a relative of?
That's a relative of the abalone, for sure.
Yes.
That's the big guy.
And what terrestrial? This is an aquatic animal.
Oh, and then the snails and slugs.
Yep, you got it. It's a molluscan. So you could see the two in that one picture of him turned upside down. The little foot. It's called its foot. It has those two little antennae sticking out. Oh, and its little mouth is open. How cute! What they feed on is algae on the rocks.
Yeah.
And
they have a cool radula.
Oh, we're going to see an organism that eats them. No, I don't think we're going to see the radula. Too bad, but that's so cool. Yeah. That's right. Its tongue, it has like spines on it.
It looks like a big, it just scrapes
spiny
stuff
thing.
off the
Scraper.
rocks. Right.
It's a scraper. All right, here we go next. This is the state bird of our state.
All right, the California quail.
Yes, indeed. What a cool bird. And the little babies run after the parents, and they're just so sweet.
And then what's cool is go online and look up their calls, because they have all these different calls.
Oh, that's right. And they go, peep,
yeah,
peep, when they're kind
so
of
the
upset with
warnings
you.
And, the warnings,
right.
or to call their
and then,
babies in.
Okay, so I grew up I went to my grandparents in Napa, and they had just tons of quail, so I always loved that.
Oh, they're
okay,
wonderful.
so what is this? It's the only native turtle.
And I don't know what
it is called a western pond turtle.
Oh, nice.
No problem. They're really cool. They're you can find them on rocks around in different rivers and creeks.
Very cool. That's the bay?
Yes, it is. But if you live in Oregon, it's known as the Oregon myrtle wood.
Right.
That's right. If it's here, it's the California bay.
Yeah.
So it all depends. Very nice and pungent smelling, and
Wonderful,
you can put it in your soup. Nice tree.
And they have a really cool flower because it doesn't have petals.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so they're really a nice one. So ferns.
Yes,
big sword
which one?
ferns?
Sword fern. You got it because it looks like a little sword, the little handle of the sword on the bottom.
And what are those things on the bottom?
They are known as the sporangia, or the spore holders, the holders of the spores, and so really cool. They're the thing that come off just like a seed, only these aren't seedy plants that make
spores,
seed.
Right?
They're spores, exactly. So like a fungus that does that.
Yeah.
Like a mushroom.
Barnacles.
Barnacles. This is a
goosenecks.
gooseneck. Yep, you got it right there. Gooseneck barnacle, really neat, like the limpet, hangs onto rocks. During a low tide, it's exposed. During high tide, it's covered. And it sends these little things out, the shell opens.
Yeah, they have wonderful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. That little captures like sort of filtering, they filter that, well, they grab the things that are out there floating around, little pieces
There's
of
another
things.
one to look up.
Yes.
Feeding.
Hey, we have a bird.
Oh, Turdus migratorius.
Oh, the red robin goes bob, bob, bob. And that's right, it is Turdus migratorius, which seems like an offensive name, but for the American robin, it has no idea, so who cares? The blue eggs right there are cool. It's a robin. Nice.
They often have mud in the bottom.
Mud in the bottom.
Yeah.
Wait, did I do this right? Hold on. Where am I? Here, go.
Oh, that one is
We
the
have 50 slides.
elk.
Yes, it's the Roosevelt elk. That's right. And we have them here, but it's inland and more, and even up to Oric.
Right.
Really cool animal.
And
it's
you
an
don't want to
herbivore.
mess with them.
No, they get very upset, especially in the
out to take
rutting
pictures of them.
season. During September, you totally want to stay away. Don't get close pictures. Use a telephoto lens. Okay, what's this?
Oops, I have to look and see. That's big leaf maple.
Yes, it is. I heard people calling it a broadleaf maple. The guy that's treehouse master, have you ever seen that? He goes broadleaf, and I'm like, I haven't heard of that. But we call them big leaf.
Big leaves. Yeah.
Really nice, beautiful
They're
plant.
lovely plant.
Have really cool helicopter seeds.
Yeah, the seeds.
Seeds go down. Okay,
Right.
let's keep going. What is it?
That's a scop, is it?
It looks like
or
a scop.
is it a scoter?
It's a scoter.
Right,
That's a
okay.
surf scoter.
Right.
Look at its face. It's just beautiful.
Oh, they
it's
are.
just comical, lovely. Look at its, it's just got a really cool look. It looks sort of like one of those
Kind of
puffins.
harlequin, yeah.
Harlequin, puffiny,
Yeah,
yes,
right.
indeed.
They're wonderful.
They are. Okay,
Oh,
next.
and there's I don't remember the name of the frogs.
Yes, it's a tree frog.
Tree frog,
Pacific
okay.
tree frog, yeah.
Okay.
So they're around here, and right now they're going to be hatching out as in the tadpole, from the tadpole phase to the adult phase. What do we have now?
And that's blackberry.
Yes, non-native,
Right.
but they're delicious, so nobody's complaining.
Right.
Well, some people
Right.
are because they do
I
not
fight
stop.
them every year. They're just,
Yeah.
they're amazing
Oh,
plant.
yeah, they're
and
incredible.
They have root balls. That
Giant
are
root balls. You need to
Yeah.
cut them, or they
and
just
you
keep
need
growing.
to dig them up if you want to get rid of them.
Digging,
Oh,
exactly.
They're just
Digging is
massive.
very important.
Yeah, so.
What is it?
Oh, and that is an Amanita?
Yes, it is. Amanita muscaria, I think is the name of it. It is poisonous,
Right.
but lovely.
Is it
Really
death
cool.
caps? Is that-
Toadstool.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think
no,
it's the
it's
death
not
cap.
death
The
cap,
death
okay.
cap is like, I think it's white, but anyway. That's okay.
Okay, Austrocracius. So the
Ochrestar.
Ochrestar,
Yeah, so
right.
you got Austrocracius. Cool, good for you. All right, and yes, these are sea stars. They had a horrible time a few years ago. They got a terrible disease, the wasting away disease,
Right.
and they just died by the millions,
Yeah.
probably. It was terrible, and it
Yeah.
might have been a temperature thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, there was
I
the
didn't-
hot blob or whatever that came up, and
But it was all along the coast. And
All
then
along the coast.
The interesting consequences of that is like in Monterey, or I think all along the coast,
Sea
is that the
urchins.
sea urchins have exploded. And sea urchins eat
yes,
kelp,
yes.
all the big kelp, and there's billions
Kelp
of them.
forest.
There's like pictures of that.
It's very terrible.
That look like that,
Especially the
except they're
purple
covered by
urchin.
the purple urchins.
Yeah.
And so the sea otters are very important to control those.
They are. But so are the sea stars.
Yeah.
Okay, we're calling them sea stars rather than starfish
and
because they're
that's
not
a
really fish. What's
godwit?
this? Yes, that is a
Marble?
godwit. No, it is. It's a marble godwit. Go to the festival. It's very cool. It's
Yeah.
3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Not this weekend, next weekend.
And godwits' beaks
Godwits.
curve up to
Yes,
God.
curve up. That's right.
And curlews curve down.
Oh, very nice. Okay, look it. We have another.
Oh,
this is at the base of the redwood
Oh,
forest.
nice. And it's Oxalis.
It's Oxalis, also known as sorrel,
Sorrel,
redwood
right,
sorrel.
redwood
yes,
sorrel,
very
nice.
cool base of the whole bottom
Lovely,
of the.
lovely plant.
Yes, very nice in a redwood forest.
Okay, and that is. It
has
is
three-
It caddisflies?
It is the caddisfly was the one that had it made the
Right.
thing. This has 3 tails on its rear
that's
end.
right.
This is a
Trichoptera.
mayfly.
Yeah,
Yes,
mayfly.
Trichoptera.
Yeah.
Good job on that. That Trichoptera means three, and then ptera means wing, so that's not really true, but it's okay. All right, so anyway,
and these are cool. And the neat drawing of the when they're aquatic, and they're just like water tigers is one of the names.
Oh, they're amazing. The dragonflies are super crazy like that too. All right, so this eats limpets.
Oyster Catcher.
Yes, this is a black oyster catcher.
And it's becoming endangered, I believe.
Oh, really? They have the coolest bill that just fits right under the limpet and just flips it up.
Right. Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh, look we have a picture. Oh, there it is. It's a, what do you think?
Red fox.
It is a gray, actually. Gray fox, we have them around here, and we may have red as well, but I know we have gray for sure.
Have them sleeping
here we go.
The crab?
Yes, it is a crab. I think this is a Dungeness.
Okay, yeah.
It looks like a Dungeness to me, right. Okay, let's keep going.
And that one, is that large?
It's the little mouse feet in the cone, which is a Doug fir.
Oh, that's right.
Fir, which is actually a hemlock in truth, but they call it a Doug fir. Okay, let's keep going.
All right, very cool.
Yes.
The dragonfly.
The dragonfly, Odonata, very neat. Most of its life it's spent in a larval form, very aggressive. What is this?
And
it is a primitive plant related to the moss. Prometheus had this removed out of his every day. It's because Zeus told him.
His stomach, but
his liverworts.
Liverworts,
yes, okay. Cool and very neat. Ground plant that's covering ground and lovely. Oh, what you were talking about,
that's
the kelp forest.
Bull kelp.
Yes, bull kelp. This is it.
Those are floaters.
Purple urchinids.
Oh, and there's the double.
You can tell me now what this is, because you told me. That's a kestrel. You got it, because it doesn't have the same little thing. American kestrel, you got it. Also, don't they call them sparrowhawks? But
yes.
Okay. What do we have?
And that's the garter snake.
Yes, garter snake.
California bird?
Yes, I think probably.
Ooh, and golden eye?
No, but it's a green-winged teal.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there are a lot lot of them out there now. They eat mud, go through the mud. Male and female, yes, the male's attractive, the female's dull. But I mean, it's a good thing. Okay, what is this one? All along the sides
salix?
Yes, it's salix.
Willow?
Yes, it's a willow. Willow's a great
and that's
plant.
where aspirin comes from, too.
Yes.
Oh, and then
I get this mixed up all the time. It is a western gull. The difference between, so am I, bad at gulls. Although it depends on the gull. So let's just keep going.
Ferns? Again,
yes, Fern Canyon. This is a maidenhair fern.
Oh, nice.
Or five-fingered. Okay, keep going.
And sea anemone.
Sea anemone, yes. You see all these amazing organisms that are around here, you guys? They're phenomenal. This one has a thing around his bill, so he's a ring-billed gull.
Oh, very good. Cool.
We keep going, and this is
not hemlock?
Alder. Yes, an alder, very nice. Keep going.
And that's Ceanothus.
Ceanothus, also known as deer brush. We have lots of it.
Right? Oh, I don't know.
Aaron had this. Starts with an M.
Morels?
Morels, yes. Cool. Very edible, but don't try. Chickadee, black-capped chickadee. Nice.
And blueberry, or no.
Delicious, so good, tiny. There's red ones, there's this color ones.
Huckleberries.
Huckleberries, yes. Tasty and make the best of things. Oh my gosh, I think we ran out of
slides.
Running out of time. So. But that was I was trying to get through.
Lots of wonderful stuff out there.
So much.
Even Sequoia Park if you're there, or Arcata Park.
Fantastic.
Yes. Fortuna has a wonderful park.
Yes, Rona Park's
so
awesome.
All of them, wander around, look at things.
Enjoy everybody.
And have a wonderful Easter break.
Have a great Easter break.